Later this week, the federal government began collecting on student loans for the first time since March of 2020. More than 5 million borrowers are currently in default on their loans. A new study tallied the average amount of debt among graduates. The report by the Institute for College Access and Success found in 2020, the average Arizona borrower had around $25,000 in student loans, with about half of students graduating with student debt. So let's break it down by Arizona's 3 top major universities, starting with ASU. 45% of graduates will have close to $24,500 of debt. At Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, 55% of graduating lumberjacks will have just over $22,500 of debt. And at the University of Arizona, 44%, that's almost half of grads, will have more than $25,000, making U of A the school with the highest average amount of debt. Across the country, the average student loan debt balance is more than $38,000. So with the government resuming student debt collections, let's dive deeper into what borrowers need to know. Troy?
Yeah, I mean, that $38,000, that's almost $40,000. Think about that. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. So Drew Kleiber is here, the managing director at Wild Wealth Management Group. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
People might wonder, how are people getting into this kind of debt? But when you think about higher education, the cost of higher education has gone up faster than the cost of medical care, the cost of real estate. Those are things we think are going out of control. Right. So it's no wonder people are racking up debt, correct?
Right. Right now there's 42.7 million Americans that have student debt. And about 5.3 million are in default.
Wow. And that's a huge number, right?
It's a massive number.
Right. So what's happening now is the federal government is saying, look, we paused payments during COVID, kind of to give you a break or however they want to position it. But now we want that money. So what's happening?
Yeah, so right now on Monday, the federal government said, hey, we're going to go take that back. So they paused all collections on debt in March of 2020. Congress mandated that they were supposed to start collecting on that debt in October of 2023. The Biden-Harris administration kind of postponed that, which left everybody in limbo, and nobody's been making payments. So,
and they even talked for a while about forgiving a lot of that debt, but that didn't happen.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. So now you have 5.3 million people that have not made a payment in over 360 days, some of which are over 7 years. So 195,000 letters went out on Monday to people that are in massive default to say, hey, you have kind of 30 days to get it going. And I think people really need to get it ahead of this. I have kids in college, and if you have a student debt or if you have the Parent Plus loans, you need to go on and look at your the website and figure out what kind of loan you have and make sure that you are not going to be in default. Because if you get in default, that affects everything. Credit scores. I mean, it's a massive problem that people need to get
in.
And
unlike having a credit card you're not paying, the federal government doesn't play around. They will go in, find where you're working, get your paycheck, and take a piece of your check, right? Garnishing your wages. That's what they've talked about.
Absolutely. And right now there's 2.9 million people that are 62 years old and older that have student debt. They can actually go into your Social Security and garnish your Social Security wages as well.
All right. So what do you do? If you're at the point, you look in there and you see, oh, God, I'm one of these people, oh my gosh, what would you do?
Go to the Department of Education's website. They have a great site there. You can log into where your student loan is and figure out what you have. Right there, you can make a payment. I suggest if you haven't made a payment, start a payment process. On there are links that you can go to if you need help. And the government will help you. They just want to get something rather than nothing. Right. So they're gonna work with all borrowers to try to get everybody on some sort of payment plan because at the end of the day, they want their money.
In 30 seconds, you brought up a great point during the commercial, and that is you wish that high schools or even the colleges themselves would talk to students about taking out these loans. I mean, these are things that can affect you for 20, 30 years, right?
Absolutely. My youngest son goes to Chaparral High School, and he's taking a personal finance class right now. And it is wonderful because they're teaching kids what the obligations are, everything, how to balance checkbooks. The average student right now has no clue about this stuff. And they're taking student loan debt. They haven't read any of the paperwork. They don't realize that they have to pay this back plus interest.
And that is really important. I don't want to say it's more important than algebra, but you use how to pay your finances a lot more than you use algebra. Most people.
100%. 100%. It should be required.
All right, Drew, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Tram.
Yeah, financial literacy is everything.
For sure.
Thank you.